Future viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Preceptory for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. No, that isn't a giant mint humbug there. That's the Squire. Good afternoon to you, Squire.
Good afternoon, Colonel. Hello, everyone.
And you've brought a very interesting machine with you, which he's very kindly offered to play to us. He brought to show with me. Now, tell us what it is.
Well, now, back before the First World War, I suppose about 1907, 1908, the Gramophone company brought out a gramophone that they called the Pygmy Grand.
Yes.
Which is like this one, but smaller. This is a much bigger version.
A much bigger version,
with
yes.
A double spring motor, 12-inch turntable, a nicely shaped bass. Now, I got this from quite a rare source, actually.
Yes, I was going to ask you where you got this from, because I've never seen one in the flesh, as it were, before. And if viewers were to read magazines and periodicals in the 1970s, such as the Talking Machine Review and things like that, these things were regarded as mythic. They didn't make them. Well, there is one, and it's entirely genuine. There's the trademark, which has got the coat of arms of Queen Alexandra. And that one, you know, dog and trademark, gramophone. Could we have a look at the motor?
Yeah, sure, certainly.
Because it is double sprung, whereas the smaller version, which are usually mahogany, and this one is oak, I think, or is it walnut? No, it's oak. Yeah, push it. There we go.
Got to tip it back.
That's it. There we go. The motor is mounted sideways. And there's the horn. Nothing much, just 4 bits of curving wood.
A nice piece. And also another interesting part about these is the top of the bracket here is designed to quickly remove the tone arm, probably to put it into a packing case.
Oh yes, they would have had a leather carrying case. Could we turn it sideways to see that? It's mounted on that book, isn't it? It is heavy, isn't it? There we go. Ah yes. Yes, there's a screw here and the whole of the tone arm will come away then to fit into a crate. Now you've got the original exhibition soundbox, haven't you?
Yes, but that needs rebuilding.
Right.
So I've got to get on with that sometime. So if I turn that back straight again.
Great. And it is heavy, I hasten to add, viewers. It is a heavy thing. You know, this is a 12-inch turntable. It gives you an idea of how big this is. It's probably, what, 14, 15 inches sort of square.
It is. It's a hefty piece. Beautifully made. The record I've got on this is a jumbo record made by George Grossmith. I think about the same age as the gramophone, probably.
Yes.
Yippee from our Miss Gibbs.
Oh, wonderful. Is it wound up? I forget about that. You're looking on the wrong side there, Squire.
This one.
I wonder when we spot that one, Wilson.
Exactly, yes, indeed.
You see, this is why this is such a different and revolutionary machine. It predates all the hornless grands that G&T and HMV made. Right.
Let's see how we get on.
Young Herman from Bellow, a musical fellow, played on a big cello each night. At a smart hotel where the gallants and fair would drop in for a chat and a bite. He played tunes that go by Wagner and Kugo to give the gay building a tone. But the place started swaying when he began playing a wonderful waltz of his own. I don't care what becomes of me when he plays me that sweet melody. My heart wants to shout hooray. Sing of joy, sing of bliss, home was never like this. Not some sort of music makes me sick and you sick, while some sort is noble and grand. But the kind that our hero was fiddling like Nero was quite of a different brand. And sweet Sally home with pride in his side. But when the half of bellow began on his cello, he saw that addicted and cried.
Well, that was jolly good. In fact, I don't think listeners will appreciate how blessed loud that thing is.
It's very loud.
There's nothing much to it. You know, the horn is what, 12, 14 inches long, what, 3 or 4 inches square, although the back bracket does project quite a long way.
It certainly packs a punch.
It does. And the record's interesting. I think I've got an alternate take of that record.
Yes, could be.
Where there's a chorus where they shout. That's George Grossmith Jr., isn't
That's
it?
it, that's right, George Grossmith Jr.
How very interesting. Do you mind if I take some photos of this machine
Yeah, of
and
course.
put on the forum?
No
Not
problem at all.
immediately, obviously.
No, okay, not a
But
problem.
what a great machine. How fabulous. And as I say, in the 1970s and 60s and 70s, people said these double spring Pygmy grands were mythic.
Well, I think the point is, I think they were only made for a short time, and being as they were probably quite expensive, they didn't sell very many of them, because it wasn't long before they brought out a different style of hornless machine anyway.
Yes.
So it's interesting to know really how many of the standard Pygmy grands were made, because you don't see all that many of those about. There's no one that size.
I would think in about 30 years I've seen 4 in various conditions. I've seen one with its original leather travelling case, which I assume this would have had, because after all this is the first, his Master's Voice portable, or Gramophone Company portable.
That's right.
Because it is technically portable. You see adverts for the smaller Pygmy grands from Grand magazines and that of the period being taken on punts and things. Well, this is quite heavy, this thing.
I think it'd almost sink it.
Yes, I've done a few things like that.
Yes, it's a nice machine, interesting.
It is.
Yeah, very interesting.
A really wonderful addition to your collection.
Well, this is the point. I'm beginning to get some really good bits up together now, which is good.
Well, when you think 30, 40 years ago, stuff like this just wasn't about, was it?
No. Well, when I was dealing, well, it must be about 25 years ago, it was a job to get anything, let alone quality stuff like this.
Yeah.
If you could find, in those days, it was an achievement to find some plywood-sided cabinet gramophones to sell. Because I found in those days, as soon as I sold something and had to be hunting around straight away to get something else.
You were always, and I found this as well, you're always chasing your tail. As soon as you'd sold something, you'd got to chase around to find something to replace it. There was never a conveyor belt of stock.
Well, I was on the road 2 days a week.
Right.
For years. I used to get the things in, restore them, probably sell them at the weekend, and then had to go out again to get more things. Today, well, I've got a Renault Kangoo car, which is a bit like a postman Patmobile, but I used to go out years ago, and I could take a car like that and fill it up on a day's circuit.
Right, yes.
Now, I reckon now, if I went round trying to fill that car up now, it would take me 2 years to do it. Because I see nothing out there.
The only thing you'd find, the only thing to fill up is yourself going around the cafes at these antique, so-called antique centres. I find a cup of tea and a bun is about all I buy at such places.
Well, I think, to be honest, the catering is the only people that make any money on it, to be
By
quite
golly,
truthful.
they do too, yes. Yeah.
Well, you go to some of these antique fairs, golly, they do a trade.
They do, yes, they most certainly do. It's quite extraordinary, but finding anything interesting is very, very unlikely. It's why I'm rather intrigued as to where you got this thing from. In fact, I'm sure underneath, if we look, there might be some labels and that. I won't ask you to, because it is actually very heavy. But if we'll do that later, and I'll photograph it for the forum.
Yes.
Because this is a jolly interesting machine, and it appears to be completely original, come out of an attic or somewhere.
Well, the thing is,
I know you're associated with the country house set in the Cotswolds, so one can only imagine that's where it came from.
I won't let any cats out of bags, but I know people in the know who will let me know if something interesting comes up. So I do hear about these things through my network of very efficient spies.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, I seem to recall one of those. We saw him at the last sort of gathering. He finds some interesting stuff too.
Golly, doesn't he just? Yeah, he does. Yes.
Wish I did, viewers. I don't find interesting things. I find some interesting records. I wonder if we should play another record. That'd be rather fun, wouldn't it? Now, you talk amongst yourselves a moment, viewers, and I'll find a G&T or something. Luckily, I happen to have an album of G&T's handy. This is turning into one of your ramblings videos, isn't it, Squire? Except I'm doing the rambling. Harry Lauder, Whistler and his dog, Fritz Kreisler. Let's have a look. See if we can find something really exciting to play. No, we're not doing very well at the moment. Oh well, selections from the Belle of New York.
Oh, that'll do.
Belle of New York was what, 1900 and
something like that,
or something. Right, let's remove that your record gently there. And if we put the G&T on there, hopefully that looks like the original green cloth too. I wonder if your country house contacts would get their fingers out and find the leather case for it. That would be interesting. I bet it's lurking somewhere.
Well, I have asked them.
Oh, you have? Yeah, well, yes.
But I think they think it might be in the chauffeur's residence. I'll have to see.
Oh yes, I've got one of those viewers. Sadly, I haven't got a chauffeur. He got sacked, didn't he?
Right.
that ended rather abruptly, but by golly, what a sound out of it.
I know.
And that's a G&T.
It's an early record too, yes, exactly. Coldstream Guard.
Mm.
Must be a pretty unusual number. Look at that. GC27.
2-7.
That's got to be an early one.
That's got to be early, was it? 1901, 2?
Something like that. I've never seen one with that kind of a number that early.
No, that was given to me as unplayable by a collector.
Well,
May have been unplayable for him, but it certainly wasn't for us, was it?
well, the trouble is you can't expect these records to be absolutely mint condition at this age, but I mean that doesn't look too bad actually.
No.
No, I'd say it's well, we've just played it, haven't we?
I think he's probably playing it on some technical equipment with the wrong size style or some rubbish.
Yeah.
Or trying to play it with a Pathé machine.
Probably.
People do some silly things, but what a wonderful machine you've got there.
Well, yes, I'll have to send my faceless man out to see if we can find some more bits and pieces.
Ah, your faceless men, yes.
Exactly, yes.
From the House of Black and White, no doubt.
That's right, yes.
Yes,
Indeed.
it's funny you should mention that. A girlfriend of mine, an ex-girlfriend by this stage, had a small son, and he said, he said to me one day, you're from the land of black and white. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, you've got all these old machines and this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's got a sort of point. I watch black and white films, mainly Laurel and Hardy viewers. I think I'm turning into them occasionally, but some of the stupid things that happen here at the Preceptory. Not that, falling off the roof was a bit, nearly falling off the roof rather, was a bit stupid. But your faceless men, how interesting.
Yeah, they change face for each auction they go to. So
Oh, do they?
Knows who they are, you see.
How interesting. I used to have someone like that. He was always the same though, sadly. He got sacked though. He was very lucky he didn't end up on a spike. Over the gates here. Oh dear. Mind you, it wouldn't have stopped him talking, knowing that particular individual.
No, indeed not.
Every time I'd have come home, he would say, ear, and all this nonsense. Dear oh dear. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, viewers. What a lovely machine. Very, very rare. I don't think there's another example on YouTube of one of these playing. But there you go. We try to inform and educate, and hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you, viewers, and goodbye.